It's what they do after like an hour's sleep, you know. We hear that they do this kind of thing in Red China. They wake up their dissidents every hour. This is a means of torture, and you're interviewing these people. Oh, it was terrible. They woke me up every hour on the. Well, they've been doing that to me for, I guess, a couple of years now. They wake me up every hour on the hour. If I get an hour of sleep a night, I figure that's good. So I say to myself, look, God is with me, so. The Lord of hosts is with us. He's with us. Adonai is with me, so it's an hour in your time here, the way you're measuring time, but since Adonai is with me, it's 8 hours, same as 8 hours. However, after my hour of sleep, I was woken up by suspected secret police. I got up and what did I do? I went and shot 2 arrows from my bow in our attic, and then I recorded myself doing that. I made a little video. I put it online, and I called it Back in the USSR. And then I had a soup, one of those ramen soups you can buy here. And I noticed, let me notice about the soup that there's like a mixture of spices in a little aluminum packet with the noodles. You're supposed to add 2 cups of water and add those spices. And they're very salty. Now, I'm seeing on Japanese television all the time now that to avoid heat stroke, you gotta drink lots of water and have salt with it. Now, I've never heard that in the United States ever. I've never heard anybody in the United States say that you need to have salt with your water. Okay, now, I was asking myself, is salt an electrolyte? Because over here they say you need water and electrolytes. Let's say you've been vomiting, okay, and vomiting, and you become dehydrated from vomiting, right? You don't just need water, you'll need electrolytes. So is salt an electrolyte? I could look that up, but I'm asking you. I'd like you to let me know. Would you please get in touch with me and let me know? Is salt an electrolyte or not? I'd like to know the answer. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can go to sleep now. I'm not that tired, but I realize I think I should get more than an hour of sleep. I'm really not tired, but I've got my pajamas on here. These are my pajamas. Okay. I got my pajamas on. And now I'm going to go to sleep. So I just want to say goodnight. Looking forward to meeting you. You know, since I have a moment here, I'm not that tired. Let me say that I read The Tale of Q, which is the Vietnamese national epic, before Vietnamese became whatever the country's called now. Communist Vietnam. I don't know what the name of the country is. I should look it up, but why should I? So, this Tale of Q, okay, these lovers, I do not recall if these are 2 people that have like known each other for years and years. I don't recall that. I'm thinking to myself, that is the ideal that women want. They want to be together with somebody they've known. Like, if they could be with, look, ideally, a brother would be best. A woman's brother would be her best mate, because she's known him from, let's say, birth. Let's say he was born after her, or they were twins, and they're friends, and they know each other real well, can trust each other and all. this is the ideal mate. As far as all I've heard from women, I know I'm talking with irony here. So anyway, on that point, Freud said, as far as he could tell, these wives' tales, if you will, that having incestual conceived children results in all kinds of deformities. He's saying he didn't see that at all. And his example was, he said, those royal families across Europe, they were all involving themselves in what you might call incestual relationships. They're marrying cousins and so on across centuries. And he said he didn't see evidence that the kings and queens across Europe were a bunch of idiots because they were all related to each other. Okay, now to go on with this meandering of thought, I've been seeing on Japanese TV that excuse me for showing my confusion on this point, but the royal family over there has to come somehow from a marriage within the family. Are they saying that a man in that family has to marry a woman in that family, like a cousin or closer, to keep the royal family going? Because I heard something like soon, if they don't change the rules, there may not be enough family members to supply an heir to the royal family. Do they have an emperor over there? I mean, no disrespect. It's just something I've never thought about. We don't have an emperor in the United States or a king, so us Americans raised over here, unless we're certain kinds of Americans who are interested in this thing, and I'm not one of them, we don't know the first thing about this kind of thing, and we have little interest in it. Let me go on. To show how little interest we have, have you ever seen the movie by Clint Eastwood, Unforgiven? It starts out with this gunfighter, apparently from England. His name was English Bob. He's talking about how magisterial and awe-inspiring, let's say, royalty is in Europe, so that if you were wanting to assassinate like a king over there in Europe, you would be in such fear before that king you're pointing your gun at, you might not be able to shoot him. I mean, the idea that you're going to shoot a king would make it impossible for you to do it. But he's saying, now a president, that's something else. I guess this movie must have taken place around the time that President Lincoln was assassinated, so he's referring to disdainfully the shooting of an American president is nothing. It must be easy to do, but you're going to shoot a king or a queen? Whoa. See, that's almost impossible. And the movie goes on that theme of who you're shooting, to say that it's very hard to shoot anybody. If you're going to shoot a human being, okay, suddenly it's a different situation from, firing a gun in a firing range, or, I don't know, I've never hunted, but firing a gun at an animal. Just saying, in that movie, when you're face to face with a human being, and you might be killing that person, you're in a whole different ballgame. And the point is made over and over in the movie that you got to keep your wits about you in a moment like that. It's very difficult to do. So this English Bob is saying it's that much harder to kill somebody like a king or a queen, you're going to aim your gun at them? Wow. Are you up for a challenge? Okay, why am I talking about this? I think I said that, I really don't know how I got off on this, but I said that I got up and I was woken up by suspected secret police, and I went to my own firing range in the attic and fired 2 arrows, okay? The one was a little high on the coconut head I was aiming at. The second one hit the coconut near the coconut's left eye. Now, am I firing those arrows with the idea of firing at a person? No, I'm not. I have no fantasies of ever harming another person with an arrow, okay, or of a gun or anything. Why I'm doing that? Good question. There's a number of reasons why I'm doing it. It's an expression of my anger, okay? Now, I bought that bow. My mother bought it for me when I was around 10 years old, okay? And I've had it ever since then. I'm in my 70s, so I've had that bow over 60 years, and I never made one attempt to try to save that bow or keep it with me, never. It just unconsciously traveled along with me through life, and I still have it. Now, since I've been declared to be crazy, am I allowed to have that bow? I've owned it since I was 10 years old, and I didn't even buy it myself. My mother bought it for me. Am I allowed to own that bow? I might not be. I don't know, but I did buy arrows for it because I didn't save those, and I bought a string for it, and I practiced with it. Now, I have never imagined shooting an arrow at a human being. I've never even fantasized it, okay? An arrow from me going into a body. However, I have seen the movie Deliverance, and that's another reason probably why I'm resorting to bow and arrow to express my anger, because I'm saying I'm a victim of male rape, and the movie Deliverance presents a male rape. And how does that end? Well, these men are waylaid by hillbillies in, I guess it's the North Carolina mountains, and one of these men on a vacation trip kayaking down some river in North Carolina gets male raped by a hillbilly. These hillbillies are armed, and they've waylaid these vacationers. It's a very upsetting, ugly scene to watch. I've never seen this in any other movie. And in the version I saw, they graphically showed the male rape happening. They showed it the way you'd show porno. They showed it happening. So it was, from my point of view, a disgusting, ugly, and, well, I don't know what word to use. I'm not going to say terrifying, horrifying. Dramatic scene, a very upsetting scene to be watching. And what happens is Burt Reynolds, the character played by Burt Reynolds, he's one of the kayakers. Somehow he's not with the group when they're waylaid by these hillbillies, and suddenly you see him through the forest leaves, and what's he doing? He's got a bow and arrow with him, and he's aiming that bow and arrow right at that hillbilly who just committed that rape. And he sends that arrow right through the heart of that man. And along with everybody else, although the movie theater I saw that in was silent when this happened, you could say in our hearts we were cheering that man got that arrow through the heart like that. In our hearts we were cheering that. They were saying, well, did he get what he deserved, right? So, since I've been male raped, okay, it could be that I'm resorting to this bow of mine that I got at around the age of 10, and I'm shooting bow and arrow as an expression of my anger, with reference to the justice, if you will, that occurs in deliverance to one of these male rapists. That this did not happen to the man who raped me. He got away with it. But anyway, that's probably why I'm practicing my bow and arrow, even though I don't imagine even sending an arrow. This just occurred to me through the man who raped me. Never thought of that, right? He's been dead for over 30 years, but I could be imagining that I'm shooting an arrow through him, and I don't. I don't ever imagine that I'm shooting an arrow through a person or an animal. I wouldn't want to do that. And to conclude this, wow, is it long? According to our son, he said, man, nobody's going to listen to this. Okay. When I went and bought arrows for my bow when I was around 65, I was in Colorado. The state of my Western cowboy ancestors on my mother's side of the family. Okay? And I was in Colorado Springs, and I bought some arrows, and this guy said to me, he said, you know, killing an animal with an arrow is a very painful way for that animal. It's also gruesome. On his own, he was telling me about this, and he said, really? He said, yeah. He said, the animal bleeds to death, and it's a slow, painful death to kill an animal with an arrow. I said, well, I don't hunt. I don't ever hunt. I don't want to hunt. I'm just doing this as a hobby. But good night, Sayaka. I hope that you let me know. Is salt an electrolyte? Please, I need to know that you got to tell me. Hopefully in person, because I don't trust any other kind of communications in the United States. Tell me in person, is salt an electrolyte or not? I need to know. Bye for now.